We have found that with science and memory, it is the perfect example of why experiential learning is a catalyst for growth, for new ideas, for a research agenda, and for really propelling the idea that what we do is of importance in the world.
In some ways, science is memory. Science is a way to help us remember, and the idea with that is that you're building knowledge.
We're thinking about how climate change is communicated via different postures, via advertising, film, or discussion within the community. And that is providing a robust sense of where we're going with this important discussion.
You really see it happening when you go into the field. So when students and faculty are able to go and engage with the Native Village VIAC researchers and go upriver to Baird Canyon, for example, you get a sense of the system and the network that's in these places around these stories and with these people. And that's fundamentally what Science and Memory is trying to get at.
Science and Memory has been a wonderful adventure for the faculty involved, not only for thinking about these complex issues, but for bringing in, now in our third year, over 75 students to look at the Pacific Northwest and Alaska and places in between to think about how we're changing, how the world is being affected by climate change and by man-made issues in the environment.
One of the challenges that we're facing with communicating climate change is people believing the science, or believing this idea of their perception of what an environment should look like or does look like. There isn't one story. There are lots and lots of different interactions, interplays with different people and different agencies and different worldviews. I think that's a kind of a grail for us in thinking about not just doing stories, but then understanding how stories like this get done, which is a piece of the research component that we're also looking at. Is how do the different communities in this place perceive of a lot of these issues, and what are we doing about that? I am a personal advocate for publicly funded science. I think publicly funded science is a democratic value, and I think it should be a value of journalism to honor that as we honor the First Amendment.
The Science and Memory experience, it changed my life in the sense that going to a place to see the issues of resilience, to see the issues of how ecosystems are affected, becomes part of your character.
Journalism hasn't dealt particularly well with complex problems. We're on that 24/7 news cycle. Well, what Science and Memory does is say, we're going to take a much longer view on this. Science takes time, memory takes even longer time, I suppose. And so we're going to sit with this issue and with the people who are connected to it, and we're going to take it on a multi-year scale. And in doing that, learn something about how to tell these kinds of stories in the future.
We want to ask these important questions and bring those questions to the world. I think that gives us a platform for changing how people look at some of these realities.